What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Life of a Champ podcast, episode number 48. On today's video, we're going to discuss the habits worth having. So, I'm going to go over a few things right before I start the podcast. So, one thing I want to mention is make sure you go ahead and follow me on TikTok. I'm at 69 followers right now. I'm trying to get to 80 by the end of this month. So, make sure you go ahead and follow me on there if you're not already following me on there. As well as I did post a video. I think it was yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday on this channel. So make sure you go ahead and tap in with that. It is why you procrastinate, and yeah, make sure you go ahead and do that as well. Also, follow me on Instagram, Life of a Champ podcast. Tap in with that as well. I do want to also talk about the changes that I have made. So if you're rewatching this, I want to go ahead and fill you in with that, right? So I'm combining. Okay, first I had two channels. I had the Life of a Champ podcast channel, which is this one, and then I had my Evolve to Inspire, which was going to be a separate thing. Why the hell is it doing that? Which was going to be a separate thing, but I decided to combine the channels just because I think it'd be better to have all types of forms of content on this channel. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. So, like I said yesterday, was a video about like I said, why you procrastinate, talking about the barrier of resistance. So it's like 7 minutes long. So make sure you go ahead and tap in with that. Leave a like on there as well. Like I said, follow me on the TikTok. I'm posting new TikToks, at least three every single day, um, every single weekday for sure. I've seen a trend within TikTok where it's almost useless posting in the weekends because people for whatever reason just don't go on there as much. I don't know, through my own research. But yeah, make sure go ahead and tap in with that as well. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and get into it. Right, habits. So I'm going to talk about the habits that I developed this year that I would recommend for somebody to do as well, right? And just I'm also going to recommend habits that I think most people should have at least one point in their life. I'm not saying that you should do these habits always every single day, but what I am going to say is I think there's certain habits that each person needs to there's certain habits that each person really needs to like have a phase of life where they go through this habit, and that's how you evolve as a character. And of course, obviously I'm going to recommend these things, and if you want to go ahead and take it for every single day or every single week, it's probably going to help you in many ways. But like I said, you at the very least need to be consistent with these habits at one point in your life. So I'll go ahead and get into it, right? So for me, this is a habit, kind of a habit. It's yeah, I guess you could say it's a habit, right? That I've decided to do this year, and it's I think this works. I think this works. So one thing that I have been doing is I've been before I go to sleep, right? I put my phone on airplane mode. I make sure all the apps are clicked out, and then I put it away from my head. I heard that it helps you with sleeping better, and I would deem that to be true. I have seen my own personal experience where um, I have had the phone on because something about the waves that you can't see. I don't know what the fuck it is really. If I'm gonna be honest with you, but what I do know is the shit is real and the shit works. So go ahead and take my recommendation for that. Try it out, right? Go ahead and have because for the most part, people really sleep with their phone really close to their head, really close to their body with all those shits, all the Wi-Fi and everything going on, whatever. Um, all the damn time, right? All the time. Like I want to say, most people probably sleep within, let's say, 2 or 3 feet away from their phone, and I don't think that's. I wouldn't recommend that, right? That's why I place it far away, just out of reach. So when my alarm goes off, I could just reach over and turn it off, right? Um, but yeah, I usually put it right here on my desk, so it's like a few feet away. So I like I said, go ahead and try it out. Let me know what you think about that. Like I said, if you were watching this, go ahead and try it for this night, and go ahead and also let me know in the comments if it works out for you. All right, the next thing I would recommend is this is something that I recommended a few times on this podcast, and I will continue to recommend this because I think it is the most beneficial thing that you could possibly do. It is going to be starting your day, at least the first 3 hours of the day. I would recommend 3 to 5 hours if you can manage 5 hours. And I say manage because people, obviously, it's an impulse that people have, which is going on their phone. But if you can manage to go the first 3 to 5 hours of your day without your phone, you're going to be in a much better position. You're going to be more focused, more self disciplined, and more able to take on the day, as opposed to, waking up and instantly going on your phone, getting distracted, spreading your focus very, very thin on a few different things that probably don't even matter and really don't affect your life at all. So that's why I recommend for you to go ahead and start your day without having any phone or anything like that. You know, of course, there's going to be emergency situations and where you need to have it available, and I would say, do what you got to do. But for the most part, I would recommend you to go as long as you can in the beginning of your day to go without your phone. Like I said, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. There's going to be necessary situations where you're going to need your phone. And I respect that. But very minimal phone use early in the morning. Because like I said, you get on social media and you're automatically distracted, and your focus, like I said, is spread very thin. And when you spread your focus very thin, people don't even think this is a problem. It's harder to focus later on in the day because you want to impulsively go back to your phone. It's a tendency that I've seen within myself, and not only seen within myself, but I've seen with other people as well. I know most people wake up, their first impulse is not even drink water. It's, I'm gonna go on my phone. I gotta check my phone, and it's I what I would deem to be an unhealthy impulse to start your day. Right now, if you change that, what are your thoughts going to be? Who knows? Because your ass probably don't know because you probably don't do it, right? But if you did do it, who knows what your thoughts would be? Like it's something that I mentioned on my last video as well. Like, you don't want people telling you what to think when you go on your phone instantly after you wake up, right? You're getting a lot of sources of inputs through social media, through whatever, right? Whatever it is, all your notifications, everything. They're telling you what to think, essentially. Isn't that what it is? They're telling you, hey, think about this problem, or think about this situation, or think about, I don't know, something that probably is not even relevant. Like I said, really not even relevant to your life. They're gonna tell you to think about these things, and like I said, in the grand scheme of things, it probably isn't gonna affect your life at all. So you probably are best to, at the very least, start your day focused with what you need to go ahead and focus on. Something I mentioned on a previous podcast is I start my day, and one of the first things that I do is I go over why I woke up this morning. What am I trying to do? What am I trying to accomplish for the day? This has been very, very beneficial for me to start my day with the right focuses, the right motivation, the right self discipline, knowing what I need to do and what I'm striving for. And like I said, I recommend that 100% for most people. And even if you have a period of time where you do this, definitely recommend it for damn sure. All right, the next thing I would say is going to be reading. Reading is a habit that you're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to read if you have your focus thinned out. It's not going to happen, right? Your attention span is going to be very, very shortened. You almost have no hope. You almost have no hope with actually trying to read. So what I would recommend, start your day off disciplined, because if you don't, then it's probably not going to work out in your best case scenario. Um, but yeah, reading, it's one of the greatest long term investments that you can possibly make, because first you consume the book, right? Which, first of all, there's plenty of books. There's books on everything, right? GDP, appreciate for stopping by. There's books on everything. So, with that being said, what are you interested in? If you don't know what you're interested in, then I don't know. I really can't help you on that. You just got to figure out what you're interested in, go from there, and then when you go from there, you're going to be in a better position to learn about those things. And not only do you learn about it in the moment, you go like years and years and years, and you're still learning certain lessons that come from the book. This is something that I've observed, and that's why I say it's one of the greatest long-term investments that you can have with your time. I read a book called Think and Grow Rich, and there's certain things about that book that I've seen myself over the over a period of time go back to some of those same lessons and those same thought impulses, which is a thing within the book, right? Um, but I've learned more about myself, so I learn more about the book, if that makes any sense. But yeah, definitely recommend reading. And for the most part, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna keep it 100, right? Most people do not. They give me so much excuses. Do you read? Oh no, I can't read. What the fuck you mean you can't read? What do you mean you can't read? Or they'll be like, oh man, excuse. I don't want to hear it, bro. I don't want to hear it. You either do it or you don't. Just do it. It's gonna help you in the long term. It's gonna help you in the long term. Now, those same people, oh yeah, I don't have a problem with going on my phone, but reading is like, oh no, like there's no way, like. And here's the thing, I'm gonna give you my personal experience. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I actually spoke to him. I literally had a hour 30-minute call with him today, which I gotta talk to you about. But going back to it, right? Just read, man. Just read. It's so essential. It's so essential. And if you're doing things that are hindering your ability to read, get rid of those things. Simple as that. Trying to think what else I have to say on reading. Yeah, it's something that you know I've been doing as of recently, so I can speak on these things. I can suggest these things. I can recommend these things. It's a lot harder for me to recommend reading to some. It's a lot harder for me to recommend reading when I don't do it myself. So most of these habits I do on a daily basis, and that's why I recommend them. Right? Like I said, don't give me the excuse with reading. Just do it, man. Just do it. It's gonna be best for you. Like I said, if you're doing things that are hindering your ability to read, make the adjustment. Because if you don't make the adjustment, then you're probably going to be choosing a habit that's not going to helping you out. That's not going to be helping you out at all. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter in the long term if you choose or if you don't choose to read. Right. All right. Next thing I would say is meditation. Meditation is the journey within the self. That is the way I wanted to go ahead and describe it. Yes, I have unlimited recommendations for books. Unlimited recommendations. I can even lend you a book if you don't want to buy it. Yeah. There's one book that I right now that I've enjoyed reading within the last let's just say this year, right? Bro, what the hell's going on with this thing, bro? I'm not that white, bro, I promise. Is The Way of the Superior Man. The hands down one of the best books for trying to figure out your masculinity, what it looks like. And also, I would definitely recommend this for I'd recommend this book for women as well. And when I have a girlfriend, whenever that will be, or my wife, she will have read this book with me as well. Because it not only teaches men how to be men, it teaches women what to look for in men, and also about, energetically speaking, how to be in the right energy for things to actually thrive. So I think it's a great book. It has plenty of lessons in there, so that is definitely a book that I recommend. But going back to what I was saying, meditation. Meditation, right? You need to go ahead and you need to figure out how to do this, right? I would recommend early in the morning if you can manage it. If you can block out everything early in the morning, um, I would definitely recommend meditation because it kind of sets you up better for your entire day moving forward, right? Another thing I would say is with meditation, you could do it at night realistically, but I could just see you falling asleep, like honestly. But like I said, figure out meditation. It's a journey within the self. That's something that I came up with myself. I think so. I think I did. Yeah, it's a journey within the self. It when you everybody meditates differently, but I'll give you my recommendation on how I meditate. Right. So here's how I meditate. I first put on some music that is going to be meditation music, something that's relaxing, calming, whatever. I either put on my headphones or I put in my AirPods, and I sit there with my eyes closed, focusing on strictly my breathing only. And this has worked out very, very good for me. I feel like my energy is being cleansed. I feel like I'm being redirected every single time I start to steer off. And with that's the entire point of meditation, anyways, is try to almost focus on nothing, and it's to always try to redirect your thoughts. So like, let's just say you're going a straight path. The straight path is nothingness, is calm, relaxing energy. You're going to have thought impulses that come up that are going to throw you off your path a little bit, but you just need to go ahead and say, "Hey, I'm trying to meditate right now. I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to get locked in right now." So you just go ahead and do that, and you do it as many times as you need to do it in that period of time. I would recommend if you don't meditate, for 5 minutes. I have gotten up to 15 minutes. I usually do 10 to 15 minutes if I'm doing it by myself. It is also a habit that I've also started with my brother as well. We haven't done it in a little bit, but yeah, that's something that I did with him, and he's 11, about to be 12. He said that he likes that habit as well, and He's done it by himself, and like I said, that's going to put you in the present moment, which is going to do a lot more than just getting you calm in the moment. It'll make you more poised in moments later on in the day. That's something that I've seen. Like I said, I have a calmer energy moving throughout the rest of the day. Um, yeah, it helps me with that thinking. And if there's a time where I feel anxious or nervous or whatever, I kind of revert back to that same type of rhythmic breathing that once calmed me down earlier in the day. So it's just a pattern of thinking. So I would recommend that for damn sure. All right, this next habit is something that I am gonna have to fully explain because it's like, man, what the fuck? All right, this habit I'm gonna have to fully explain, fellas. This next one is, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Is first of all breathing through your nose, right? More specifically, while you sleep. Bro, are you fucking serious right now? Focus, god damn it. All right, breathing while you sleep strictly through your nose. And if you're a person who, I would say most people breathe through their mouth while they sleep. Um, there's plenty of evidence that suggests that breathing through your nose is going to be way more beneficial for your um, bodily function because that's the way you intake oxygen, obviously. And obviously, when you breathe through your mouth, there's no filtration. But if you breathe through your nose, obviously you have a nasal cavity, which allows the air to be filtered and allow you to take in more oxygen. So little things like that, you'll be way better off with sleeping. You'll get a deeper sleep. You'll feel more awake in the morning. One of the ways that I've seen that people recommend trying to pick up this habit is taping your mouth. That shit's wild, fellas. You know what? Do it if you have to do it, realistically. But for me personally, I didn't have to do that shit. It's just something that you just kind of have to self-discipline yourself to like, when you're getting into that time where you're about to go to sleep, just force yourself. This is where the self-discipline comes in, fellas. Force yourself to only breathe through your nose. If you're able to do that, hey, you're gonna be way better off. Like I said, the sleep's going to be better. You're going to be more awake when you wake up. Your thinking is going to be better for the next day. I'm saying these things because I've seen this play out in my life, and yeah, definitely something I recommend. Something I picked up this year. I want to say I've done it for what, a few months now, like maybe 3 or 4 months. Yeah, it's something that's, man, fantastic, fantastic, underrated, slept on. In general, I recommend breathing through your nose as much as you possibly can. So let me give you a few things that I've learned. First, your facial structure actually changes if you're breathing through your mouth or through your nose. That's something that not a lot of people know. Um, people that mouth breathe majority of the time. Of course, you breathe through both, but people that mouth breathe majority of the time tend to have a certain type of commonality within their face structure, and people that breathe through their nose dominantly also have a change in their facial structure. So yeah, it is that deep. It really is that deep, fellas. So also mewing. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in here as well as a habit. Mewing is, if I could explain it, it's where your tongue is at the roof of your mouth, right? And it just rests at the top of your mouth. That right there is also, if you want to get your jawline right, and it's also going to help you breathe through your nose. That is something I recommend 100%. And it's something that I've learned, but I've unconsciously done for years, and I probably could give it some credit. Obviously, I'm sure there's some genetic um, reasoning for why my face structure is the way it is, but also because I've unconsciously picked up that habit. So that's something I would definitely recommend as well. Because, like I said, it can change your facial structure over time, and even if you are fully grown, it's still, if you are self-disciplined enough to do it, it still can change your facial structure later on in life as well, which is something that not a lot of people know. So hey, you never know. Also, the more you use your nose, or rather, the less the less you use your nose, your nose can close up. You know that, right? Which is not a lot of people know as well. If you use your nose less, it can close up. and it'll be even harder to breathe through your nose. So, like I said, hey, do what you got to do. But if you do it right, hey, you might be able to change something. You might be able to change something. Give me 1 second. All right. Next thing I will say is this. All right. The next habit I'm going to recommend is going to be an obvious one. It's something that everyone should do. Everyone should strive to do. And that is good. That shit's hard, fellas. That shit is hard, right? Yes, all the elite people who eventually do that, that's something that they strive for. Is it always possible? Honestly, I'm gonna try to do that tonight. Cause tonight I'm actually hooping with some good buddies. I'm gonna try that as much as I possibly can. Yes, it is better for doing cardio, any type of strenuous activity. It is indeed going to bring you benefits. I can't do that shit. No, I won't say that. I choose no. I choose to not do that. Can I do it? Of course I can do it. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is hard. That shit is hard. To be self-disciplined enough to breathe through strictly your nose, that shit is hard. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Um, yeah, I'm gonna try my best. I'll try to do it tonight. Cause like I said, I give you an example. I already worked out today. I'm going back to the gym to hoop. So, hey, that's just the move. But yeah, definitely try it. Try it out. Try it out. That should yeah, no, that shit's ridiculous, right? Yeah, that should be never something you never do is block your airway or restrict your airway in any type of way when you're trying to actually breathe to survive, right? That's just goofy. Um, I'm so glad I don't see anybody wearing a mask at the gym now. That shit's so annoying. So for me, I used to work at a gym, and yeah, but no, don't do that shit. I don't recommend wearing a mask unless you're in danger, whatever, right? Don't wear a mask. Don't wear a mask at the gym. It's ridiculous. I see people doing it still. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, or I see people wear masks in the car, bro. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Are you scared of yourself, bro? Like, what the hell you doing, son? Like, take that shit off, bro. You're in your own fucking car, bro. Take the shit off, bro. You're driving, bro. Take that shit off. Oh my god, bro. I've seen the okay. There's a difference between a fucking face mask and a strategic cardio face mask. Those are different. And I think that's what you're referring to. Yes, that'll make you a damn cardio machine because it purposely is going to try to restrict your airway, which you do whatever the hell you want to do, right? You do whatever the hell you want to do. Do whatever the hell you want to do. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. The next habit I recommend for anyone is going to be the obvious one that I've spoken about on this channel many times, which is going to be working out. Working out is a habit that everyone should have. Physical activities that are strenuous is something that I recommend for everyone to do. And anyone who says, "Oh, I can't do it," I don't want to hear any of the excuses. You either just do it. Just do it. I don't want to hear any excuses. Figure out a way to do it. Whatever it takes, do it. If you want to live the most healthiest and longest life you possibly can, do it. Never choose to not do it. You will feel way better if you do it. There is no negative downside to working out, absolutely none. Outside of soreness, but even soreness is a sign of progression because your body is rebuilding itself back. Um, no excuse. Work out. Simple as that. Yeah, for damn sure. I don't want to hear no excuses. None. There's no excuse that's warranted for working out. None. None of them are good excuses. Workout. Simple. I ain't got much else to say, right? Workout, man. Simple as that. I work out 6 days a week. At least. And here's the thing, I usually work out 7 days a week. That's the craziest part. But yeah, but here's the thing, I don't lift every single day, by the way. Even if it's like I said, even if it's running outside or taking a walk, even taking a fucking walk, just do something, bro. Do something, bro. But yeah, recommend working out 1,000%. Something that I picked up, and it's completely changed my life. And it also gets rid of problems that you have. So maybe you're anxious, or maybe you're feeling some type of way. Maybe you're, I don't know, I don't know, depressed. Whatever it is, right? I do think that it is going to benefit you plenty, plenty of times. It's going to benefit you over and over again. Um, very, very rewarding. Takes a lot of self discipline, like I mentioned on my shorts. In my TikTok, it is for sure rewarding. Is going to take a lot of self discipline? Yes, but in this life, you should strive to be a disciplined person, and anything else is less than desirable. Simple as that. All right, the last I'm going to talk about for myself, right? One of the habits that I have developed, and obviously you've seen it this year, I've developed editing videos, getting better with editing videos. In the beginning of this year, I didn't even know how to edit a shorts, TikToks, whatever, reels, whatever you want to call them. I didn't know how to do that. I learned how to do that. I would say I've gotten better at it, and I see in the progression of it. Also, editing camera footage. That is something that I have also been very, very fortunate to actually learn, because that's something that's not a lot of people know. So, yeah, it's pretty dope, in my opinion. I agree. I 1,000% agree with that. Yeah, that you're spitting facts right there. Um, yeah, we're meant to do that. We're meant to do that. I hate to bring up the primal ways of the way it was thousands of years ago, 100 years ago, but at the end of the day, like we're machines that are made to try to survive, and obviously, modern day conventions have made it so easy for us to survive. And honestly, sadly, it has done that because you got a lot of weak people nowadays that are just their ass would have been dead. And I say that in the nicest way possible, but their ass would have been dead if it was 100 years ago. Um, but yeah, no, it takes self discipline. But like GDP said, right? You know, all of us have this energy. Some more than others, of course. But the more you release that energy, the more energy you will have. So, for example, right? Let's just say you work out. You drink. You're tired after you work out. Yeah, he always does. Let's just say you work out. You're more tired. You go to sleep. You probably are gonna get better sleep because you're gonna be in a deeper sleep, right? You wake up in the morning. You have more energy than you did before, right? Now, of course, there's going to be life situations that get in the way from working out, but like I said, you gotta prioritize. You gotta prioritize it. But yeah, video editing is one of the things that I picked up this year. I'm very, very thankful for learning this habit. And yeah, I would say it's something that not a lot of people know how to do, and something that I would recommend for someone to do if they're interested in trying to edit videos or trying to create better content. Of course, you're going to need a device to go ahead and edit the videos. I know you can edit videos on your phone as well. Do that if you want to, but that's not really editing. Real editing is on a computer. That's real editing. That's my opinion, though, right? But yeah, that's pretty much going to be the video for today. I want you to go ahead and comment before I go ahead and leave off, right? Go ahead and comment a habit that either you developed this year or a habit that you would recommend to somebody. Make sure you go on down and leave it in the comments. If you're rewatching this, make sure you go ahead and leave in the comments as well if there's any specific habits that you recommend for somebody to do, and also tell me some habits that you're developing this year that you have developed. Another one I will say before I go ahead and end it off, right? Journaling. Journaling is also a habit that I would recommend. At the very least, you need to have this habit for an extended period of time. I want to say in 2021, I journaled 180 something days, if I'm not mistaken. It could be more, it could be less. It's around 180 days, though. 180 days, I journaled, and you learn a lot about yourself through journaling. Journaling about your day, journaling about how you feel, and I would definitely recommend journaling to men. Just because you can kind of talk about your day. This is what I did, right? I talked about my day, And if there's any emotions or any feelings that I wanted to express that I wouldn't say wasn't comfortable expressing around people, but like obviously men express emotions in a different way. And I would definitely recommend for men to express their emotions in a different way. That is one of the outlets I would recommend for sure. Um, yeah, yeah, it was definitely something good. Also, one of those things that brings you present. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Friday Junior. Yes, sir. Um, yeah, it's one of those habits that make you very, very present. And yeah, I definitely recommend journaling because there's no downside. And at the very least, if you're not even talking about really anything that matters, at the very least, you can look back a year later and say, "Wow, I really wasn't talking about shit." which is going to be it might even be some entertainment for you. So definitely something I recommend for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over them all again. So habits. This is going to be habits that I recommend and habits that I've picked up on. So for one, it is going to be putting your phone on airplane mode, moving it away from your head while you sleep. I know there's vibrations and frequencies and all this other shit that we don't see, obviously. But it can affect your sleep. It can affect your body. And do your best to just try it out. If you don't believe me, try it out. Put your phone in airplane mode, put it away from your head while you sleep, and see how it works out. Maybe you'll get some better sleep. And if you don't, and go back to the way you were sleeping, and maybe you see a contrast. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. That's something that I would recommend because I've seen the positive benefits. I've also recommended it to people, and it's also helped them out as well. Shout out to those people if they're watching. Another thing I would say is for a habit that I would recommend is start your day at the very least 3 hours if you can. Like I said, there's going to be exceptions to the rule, but I would recommend going your first 3 to 5 hours of your day without your phone, just because there's going to be some benefits when it comes to your focus and your self discipline that no one really talks about, and I haven't seen anybody really recommend this too much. But yeah, it'll allow you to focus on what you need to focus on early on in the morning. It'll allow you to be more productive and not be distracted. Like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, the more when you go on your phone and the first thing in the morning, like majority of people do, you're spreading your attention very, very thin. You're going to be distracted. You're going to be having them tell you what to focus on instead of actually focusing on what you need to focus on in the real life. The last thing you want is to be focused on some shit that doesn't matter and doesn't even apply to you at all. Hey, see this right here? Fellas, fellas, go ahead and learn from that right there. Yes, that you're like most people, right? Most people can't even do a fucking 30 minutes after they wake up without their phone. You take it one step at a time. I'm more of the type, as well as GDP is more of the type, to go all the way in or all the way out. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that, fellas. It's as simple as that. I like to do the extreme. Like I said, I started off with 3 hours. I did 5 hours yesterday. I did 3 or 4 hours today. So, yeah, 5 hours. Hey, 5 hours that I did the other day, boy, let me tell you. Oh my God. The amount of productivity that I got through, the amount of attention and focus to the things that I need to focus on was drastically changed. So, like I said, that's why I recommend that shit because hey, I see it for myself. The next thing I'm going to say is this. The next habit I recommend is going to be reading. Reading is something that everyone should do. Find what you're interested in a book. Learn something about yourself. Learn something about what somebody's teaching. And yeah. One thing I want to mention is this because I want to look back at this moment right here. When it's all said and done, I will be an author as well. I'll add the author to the list of the many, many things that I've done in this life. I will be an author. So if you're watching this, go ahead and clip it because it's going to happen. I'm going to be an author when it's all said and done. I'm going to be an author of a few books. I don't know how many yet. It won't be one. It'll be a few of them. But yeah, I definitely need to write a book because hey, I got some game. I got some game for the people. I got some game for the people. Um, and I want to be able to do it in book form as well as do it on video form, podcast form, whatever it is. Right. Got to give the game out, especially when you got it, and most people don't. Exactly. Received for sure. The next habit that I would recommend is going to be meditation. Meditation is a habit that I recommend for everyone to do just because of the fact that it's going to give you a certain type of calmness and certain type of better energy to go throughout the day. And if you've never done meditation, look into how to meditate. Everyone meditates differently. The way I meditate, like I mentioned earlier, is going to be just listening to some music that's going to be relaxing, focusing on my breathing, closing my eyes, and every single time my thoughts start to derive from the path of the calmest or distracted, I go ahead and recenter myself and figure it out from there. So, yeah, definitely something I would recommend and something that I've been doing over the past few days. And I used to do it back in the days. When I say back in the day, I mean like fucking like last year or like this year, something like that. But yeah, I recommend for people because there's no downside in most of these habits. There's no downside. There's no downside. Okay, the next habit I would recommend is going to be breathing through your nose while you sleep. Um, yeah, your sleep's going to be better. Um, it's going to be hard at first, and like I had mentioned, if you can't do it, or if you struggle to do it, or if you have some mental barriers, tape your fucking mouth shut. Simple as that. Because it might work. It might work for you. It might work for you. Um, yeah, that's what I would say. I did not need to do that personally because I just tried to self discipline myself to strictly breathe through my nose until I fall asleep, which is something that's hard and something that, of course, I went through that struggle. But like I said, it's worth it. Um, the benefits will be reaped if you are able to accomplish such a feat. So do it. Try it out. All right. The next habit that I recommend, which I will always recommend to the day I die, is going to be workout. No excuses. No excuses. Workout. Simple. It's not okay. It is not okay to not work out. I'm gonna say that right there. I'm gonna say that right there. That's the nicest thing I could have fucking said with them working out. It is not okay for you to choose to not to work out. There is no excuse. This is a habit that everyone should develop in their life. Everyone should have a relationship with putting themselves through difficult physical moments in life. This is no excuse. This is a necessity of life. If you want to have the best life possible, this is going to be an element of the life that you most definitely need. I can't emphasize it enough. It is 100% required. And the fact that, society is not promoting that as much as it should is why I have to do it even more. Because society's going to tell you, "Hey, just eat at my McDonald's, get fat and be be happy with the way you look even though you wish you could still look better." But they're going to give you the distractions. They're going to give you the setbacks. They're going to give you they're going to dull you down. What it comes down to. They're going to dumb you down to the point where you just, "Oh, there's no way I can work out." Bullshit. Work out. Simple as that. No excuses. I don't want to hear any of it. Work out. The last habit that I picked up this year is going to be video editing. I have been able to edit shorts. Of course, I'm not the best with it. I try my best, and I'm only getting better. Also, with the Evolve to Inspire videos, which are going to be on this channel now, I learned how to edit those as well. Yeah, so taking camera footage, chopping it up, you know, doing it the way I want to do it, adding little effects, things like that. Definitely something that I recommend for people to do if they want to create the best content. But other than that, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it off here in a second, unless you guys have a habit that you recommend. But yeah, definitely. If you have no habits, here's the thing: if you have no habits, you realistically do have habits. They're just shit habits. Simple as that. Um, you need to get some habits in this life. You need some habits that are gonna hold you accountable and keep you on the right track. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. This was episode number 48 of the Life of a Champ podcast, Habits That You Need, whatever I titled it, right? Make sure you go ahead and leave a like. Also, watch the TikToks that I had mentioned earlier. I'm posting about 3 TikToks every single day. Follow me on Instagram, a Life of Champ podcast, as well as One of One Champ, right? If you type in Champ, I should be one of the first ones that pop up. Other than that, I might do a live stream Saturday. And also stay tuned for the next Evolve to Inspire video. I'm just gonna call it Evolve to Inspire videos. That's going to be my 7 minute or 5 to 10 minute long videos that are going to be packed with game that not only will you get from this podcast, but you also get in a shorter form as well. So other than that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your nights. And until the next podcast, like I said, I might be live Saturday, so who knows. But you guys have a good rest of your nights, and make sure you work out.